In the heart of a frozen village, winter had arrived with an unforgiving hand. Snow blanketed the streets, winds howled through narrow alleys, and the once lively village seemed to sleep under a veil of despair. In a small, crumbling house at the edge of the village lived Mariam, a widowed mother with her 2 children, Ion, aged 8, and little Layla, only 5. Food had become a memory. Days passed without bread, without warmth, without hope. Yet Mariam carried on, her spirit unbroken, her love a quiet shield against the cold. One morning, as she searched the empty shelves, her fingers brushed against a tiny piece of bread, a crumb of hope in a house of hunger. Her heart ached, but she smiled. Carefully, she divided the bread into 3 pieces. 2 went to her children, leaving the tiniest fragment for herself. When Ion asked why she wasn't eating, she laughed softly, saying, "I already ate while preparing it," hiding the hunger gnawing at her belly. Night fell, and the children slept beneath a thin, worn blanket. Mariam sat by the window, staring at the snow, clutching her stomach. Hunger had grown into a constant companion, yet she refused to succumb. Memories of her husband flooded her mind. On his deathbed, he had whispered with weak hands and trembling lips, "Promise me, Mariam. No matter what happens, our children will never sleep hungry." She had promised, and she would keep that promise, even at the cost of her own life. The following days were a trial of will. Every morsel, every crumb was a choice. Mariam would watch her children eat while she went without. Her body weakened, her face grew pale, but her heart remained steadfast. When the last piece of bread was placed on the stove, she inhaled its warm scent, the smell of life and sustenance. Ion and Layla laughed as they shared it, unaware of the sacrifice behind every bite. When they asked why she didn't eat, she simply said, "I'm not hungry today, my loves." And in that moment, her love was louder than any words could ever be. Time passed. The winter stretched on. Mariam's strength waned, and one cold morning, the children awoke to find her still, her tiny frame resting peacefully, a gentle smile on her lips. She had kept her promise. Her children had never known hunger while she lived. Her love had been her last gift. Years later, Ion, grown and strong, stood at her grave with Layla in his hands. He held a fresh loaf of bread, a symbol of life, love, and memory. He placed it gently on the grave, tears streaming down his face. "Mama," he whispered, "we never forgot. We will never forget." Mariam's story, though silent and unseen in her lifetime, lived on in the hearts she had nurtured. It was a story of sacrifice so deep, of love so absolute, that even the bitterest hunger could not overshadow it. For sometimes, true love is measured not by what we give, but by what we give up.